Yay, 5,000 credits. But that's enough for oil change and wash. All right. Hi, Debitha. I knew that you would be the first one. Rick. Debitha just beat you to it. My day. It's going. I've had better days. But yeah, I had a nice morning. Took a nice bike ride with my son and took him to school with bikes. We drove. It's 7 kilometers one way, so 14 kilometers back and forth. So son came home on his own, actually with his friend, but nevertheless drove back from school on his own. That 7 kilometers was nice, and I had pretty decent morning exercise. But yeah, other than that, a pretty boring day. Nothing has happened. I had a off-stream session. I drove a few laps with this BMW here. Let's see, where am I at? Somewhere up, yeah, 1,500. I'm nowhere even near where I should be. 156.8. I'm way down here. Should be somewhere around 150, mid 55s, low 55s, around there, somewhere around. I'm pretty sure that I can't beat Linus, but they're 55.2, 55.3, so 1.5 seconds I need to find before tomorrow. Yeah, Stiggy is. I know that he has been grinding this track with with this with Group 3 cars. This was a daily, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago. I think I saw that he put quite many videos out from his races during that week. At least one race a day that he put out as a video. I'm pretty sure that Susie has not driven that many laps here. He's been setting up his new sim rig and new wheel and pedals and stuff, what I've understood. So but yeah, this is a kind of nice track, but then again, it's pretty tricky. The first few corners are really difficult to get absolutely right. This corner here, that is in the picture, this is also tricky. And then the last corner for me is always been difficult, but let's see. I'll load a. Yeah, bye. Deep. I'll use this ghost here. And I messed it up already, but let's get warmed up first before starting to push for a absolute time. I don't know, Rick. I have no idea. I haven't looked at it. Let's have a look. I think it was some around 20, I think. It was racing softs only. But let's see. 29 laps. No need to save fuel. You need to change tires once. At least once. Could it be that the tires would last 15 laps? Maybe. It's a grid start. It is not going to be a wet race because this track does not have wet weather settings. 29 laps, it is going to be, again, a grueling race. Yeah. There any other details? 7 minutes quali, so you can do 2 laps or maybe 3. No. 1 out lap is 2 minutes. Maybe 3 if you're slipstream real. Oh man, dirty air. Hoorah. Ghosting strong. No counter steering assistance allowed. And it's TDR M6 Genesis Supra or Lexus. Yeah, I mean it is. Yeah, I like it too. It's this kind of. I would prefer one quick lap, so something like 5 minutes only. So it gives you a possibility to either win it or play it or be a hero. But yeah. If you have something like 5, 6, 7 laps to do your time, it's a bit of a bummer because then there's not that much effect on chance and luck there in the quali. Hi, Ridge Racer. Thanks for the like. I probably haven't told this to anyone, but my first game on PlayStation ever was Ridge Racer. I think it was Ridge Racer 2 or 3 or something like that. I have to check it out, but remember that quite well. I remember that being something like driving in Tokyo. On a street circuit. Don't do that. Hey, okay, audio back on. These pulse E-light, they tend to drop off every now and then. This M6 feels like a boat here, a big boat. And then it does it really easily. That's more like it. Hi, Cap. Welcome in. How are you doing today? But it's Friday, yeah. It's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Damn it. There was this apex there that I missed by a mile. Yeah, Friday! Yay! Hey Seb, welcome in. Good afternoon, evening. Thanks for the like. It's evening, then it's 6 p.m. there. I have 6:40. Can you cut that much there? Apparently you can. Dang it. Seb, for sure he will, but probably not today. Not today. Unless he streams until something like until midnight, then maybe. So Cap, it's lunchtime there in Florida, isn't it? Almost. This is the M6 Beamer. Yeah, Seb, there's a lot of mistakes. I'm not really into this track. I've never been really good at it, like you see. And then again, this Beamer is again a car that I don't like. As it's both to drive, it doesn't turn, and when it turns, it oversteers. It's quite nice to drive at what is it? Not Road Atlanta, but the what's this track that has the chicane? It doesn't come up to my mind right now the name of the track, but and Mount Panorama is one track that this car is good at. There was a Apex there. So I'm basically getting used to drive this car right now. And getting the feel for the track and so forth. And tomorrow morning I'm going to do a race simulation and try to push for again. There was an apex there. Push for a bit more time. This let's say 9-10 your time, Rick. Yeah, it helped me a lot. Both races, the last two, to do the race simulation. Because it's such a long race, the quality doesn't matter that much. What matters is the race pace. And to be consistent. Yeah, 9 my time. Usually wake up around 8, have breakfast, and then it would be okay to go. Turn in earlier and throttle out earlier there. Let's try these. No, doesn't help. Tire temps are all over the place, it seems. Don't cut that much there. Let's try this. Let's try to get that corner. At least one corner right for the whole track. Like that. Thanks, Rick. I'll drop by a bit later maybe. I have dinner waiting soon and then the usual evening activities. Yeah, let's see tomorrow. Have fun. Yeah, it is hard, especially when I haven't driven it that much. I think the last time was when I was doing the missions, the human comedy mission that has this track as a endurance race, 30 laps with group 3. Fire Kitten! Hey! Somebody new, I haven't seen you here before. Welcome in. How you doing? Ah, great to hear. Welcome in. No worries, Fire Kitten. Hey. Thank you if you do. No pressure. Is that a penalty? No. Oh, thank you, Fire Kitten. That's so nice of you. 70 subs. "29 laps of that fun tomorrow evening." I don't know if I'm actually waiting for that or not. 56.1, the optimum. There's so much more time in there for me. Where am I? Not even top 1000. P11 on my friends list. Oh yeah. 50 minutes in. Let's save that. Thanks, Gav, for the like. Nice of you to spend the lunch break with me. Have fun at work for the rest of the day. And hope to see you again, maybe tomorrow evening, latest. Fire Kitten, that's so nice of you. 75 already. Thank you for that. Yeah, 3.5 hours. And it's Friday, it's Saturday, it's Sunday. Yay, or how does the sun goes? I don't know. But hey, have fun. All right, let's try with a ghost then again. This is the guy on my friend list, B3. I'll pass your greetings cap to my wife. Or, well, she's watching there in the background, my playing, so maybe she saw that already herself. All right, let's try with maybe a quick shift down to third there for rotation. Still too slow, and I brake way too much. That was a bit better. That was way better. All right, 55s. Yay. Let's share this for everyone. And have a look how it looks like when not driving. Might learn something. That was quite okay. And this Banky boy went really nicely. Maybe a little oversteer there. Okay, there's not that much fundamentally wrong with the lap, but it's still slow. First sector, there's the turn 2 hairpin, and then this is this turn 2, 3. This is turn 4 here. Need to practice that, and also turn 5. The DSs went pretty okay. Banky boy, the following S's with flat out basically up to the hill. and then it's just the last corner. So there's not that many corners that I need to get used to. All right. That's it for today from me. Thanks for stopping by. I'll get you in the next one tomorrow. And if you missed it, I'm going to run a test race with Bizeric, and it's going to be on around 9 my time, so it's 8 o'clock. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, it's 8 o'clock. I'll have to check with Rick. I'll send him a message later when he wants to have it. So, but nevertheless, tomorrow morning at some point, I'm going to run a test race, and then the usual race stream in the evening at 6 p.m. UK time, 7 p.m. Central European. All right. Thanks. Get you next one.